funky.
Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. I was recently buying books with my mom and my partner. We were in Bregenz. It was very beautiful there, but mostly I was there because of the books. Also, again, if it's loud, that's my fan. Again, it's hot in here. Also, about the background, I'm still trying to figure out a good filming spot, but for now, that has to do. Also, I have my laptop down here because I bought the books in German, most of them at least, and sometimes I need the information to read it. With all of that out of the way, let's start. I bought At the Mountains of Madness by H.P. Lovecraft, and the description goes like this. An expedition of scientists from various disciplines sets off for Antarctica. The aim is to gain geographical and geological insights. An advance party soon encounters an unnatural high mountain range and, in the shadow of the peaks, perfectly preserved carcasses of strange creatures. When the narrator reaches his colleague's camp, it is devastated, people and dogs mauled. And yet Lovecraft's cosmic horror is only just beginning to unfold. His classic horror story, At the Mountains of Madness, continues to inspire and disturb writers, filmmakers, and of course readers to this day. And this did cost €6 and 95 cents. That's the first book. I also bought Bunny by Mona Awad. It finally is released in German. Now to the description. A college on the east coast of the USA, a seductive cult and a group of young women who call themselves bunnies. They braid their hair, always travel as a group and call each other Bunny. At Samantha's College of Narrative Arts, the clique of unbearably rich and pretty bunnies is very popular. But one day she receives an invitation to the legendary showroom where the bunnies produce amazing creations. As Samantha delves deeper and deeper into the sinister but sugary sweet world of the bunny cult, the boundaries between reality and delusion begin to blur, and soon she has to decide what friendship means to her. And that one did cost €13 and 40 cents. Next up, we have Recursion by Blake Crouch. To the description. Don't believe everything you remember. New York detective Barry Sudden is faced with a mystery. A mysterious phenomenon is tormenting people with false memories and driving them to their deaths. Brain researcher Helena Smith has long been aware of the power of memory. In order to preserve it, she has developed a technology that allows us to relive our precious moments. The first kiss, the birth of a child. But now the misuse of her invention is threatening the fate of humanity. In the battle against an overpowering adversary, Helena and Barry try to prevent a catastrophe, while all reality around them loses its grip. That was €10 and 30 cents. Next up, I have That's Not My Name by Megan Lally. And the description is: he doesn't let me out of his sight until I close the door behind me, and for a brief moment I consider locking it. A girl is found injured on the side of the road, without any memory, without a name. How fortunate that a man turns up at the police station a little later who recognizes his daughter marrying her. Everything seems to fit perfectly, actually, but there is this nagging doubt in her chest. Why does she have the feeling that her father is constantly watching her? And why is he trying to isolate her from the outside world by any means necessary? Very intriguing. That one was €70. A little bit more than that, because that's the German price, and in Austria it's always a little bit more expensive, but around that. I will put the right price on the screen. Next up, Blue Skies by T.C. Boyle. And the description to that is: California goes up in flames, floods threaten Florida, and in the midst of it all, an American family faces an inner test. T.C. Boyle has written the ultimate novel about everyday life in our time. Eerie, funny, and prophetic. It's not longer than that, sadly. The book did cost €15 and 15 cents. €15 and 50 cents. Next up, I have The Last Bookstore on Earth by Lily Braun-Arnold. I'm very intrigued by this book. I also really like this cover. But now to the description. The world is about to end, for the second time. Since the first storm devastated everything, 70-year-old Liz has been holed up in a bookshop. There she trades books for supplies with the few survivors who pass by. It is the only place where she feels safe. Until one night, a young woman called Maeve breaks into the bookshop. And she's not the only problem, because another apocalyptic storm is brewing and threatens to take everything Liz has left, the bookshop and her own life. As I already said, I'm very interested in this book. It did cost me, again the German price, €60 and 90 cents. I will put the right price on the screen again. Next up, How to Kill a Guy in 10 Ways by Kellman. And the description to that. Have you ever been on a weird date? Can't get rid of the creepy guy at the bar? Are you afraid of being followed on the way home? Then get in touch with M. After one too many terrible dates, Millie Masters has set up a hotline for women who don't want to walk home alone at night. Message M. After Millie's sister is raped on a party night, Millie also has another goal. She wants to find the perpetrator because she knows that many men simply carry on the next night. One night, that temptation to take the law into her own hands is too great, because M can also stand for murder. This one did cost €18 in Germany. I will put on screen how much it did cost me. Next up, this is very pretty. It has sprayed edges, and it's called The Lost Bookshop by Evie Woods. And the description goes like this. For too long, Opaline, Martha, and Henry have only been supporting characters in their own lives. But when the three unsuspecting strangers discover a mysterious missing bookshop, everything changes. This magical place casts a spell over them and makes them realize that their own stories are just as extraordinary as those on the pages of their beloved books. As they uncover secrets, they enter a world of wonder, where nothing is as it seems. That one cost me €15 and 95 cents. Next up is Lost in the Wild by Antje. That's a German book, I believe. And to the description. A-levels at last. You want to celebrate with a trip to the mountains. But on the very first day, you get caught in a landslide. One of you is seriously injured. With no equipment and no contact with the outside world, you fight to survive. When you meet preppers during survival training, rescue suddenly seems to be in sight. You think the worst is over, but is it really? Also very intriguing. That one cost me €15 and 15 cents. And €15 and 50 cents. Next up, I have Such a Fun Age by Reid. Another one that's finally released, or I guess it's been released for a while, since 2022, but I've never seen it in a bookstore until now. Now to the description. Alex Chamberlain is a woman who gets what she wants and who earns her living by teaching other women to do just that. When her babysitter Amira is accused of kidnapping because she is in a supermarket with Alex's white daughter shortly before midnight, Alex is shocked. But Amira has other worries. Shortly before her 25th birthday, she still doesn't have a proper job. She is constantly broke and suspicious of Alex's desire to help. Then a video of the night at the supermarket goes online and calls into question everything she thought she knew. About herself, about each other, and the complex dynamics of privilege. That one did cost €12 and 30 cents. Now to the next one. Why I Write by George Orwell. This is the only one I can read right away, or like the description, because this is an English book. I think. Yes, it's the only English book I bought. Throughout history, some books have changed the world. They have transformed the way we see ourselves and each other. They have inspired debate, dissent, war, and revolution. They have enlightened, outraged, provoked, and comforted. They have enriched lives and destroyed them. Now Penguin brings you the works of the great thinkers, pioneers, radicals, and visionaries whose ideas shook civilizations and helped make us who we are. Whether puncturing the lies of politicians, wittily dissecting the English character, or telling unpalatable truths about war, Orwell's timeless, uncompromising essays are more relevant, entertaining, and essential than ever in today's era of spin. Contents: Wire Reid, first published 1946. The Lion and the Unicorn, first published 1940. A Hanging, first published 1931. Politics and the English Language, first published 1946. And this one did cost me $3.99 because I bought this one in an outlet, so it's cheaper. Also, in German, this book would probably be this thick, because there's no way all of these stories would fit in German. But anyways, on to the next book. The London Séance Society by Sarah Penner. I've already read her last book, The Lost Apothecary. Not sure how to pronounce that. And I was interested in the other one. Like, I liked it, but I thought it could be better, so I'm trying another book of hers. But now to the description of this one. Two courageous women in search of truth and justice. 1873. Fortune teller Vaudeline Delaire lives in an abandoned chateau outside Paris. She is widely known for her talent for séances, and her services are used by relatives and law enforcement officers alike to make contact with the dead and find the murderers. One day she is called to London to solve a particularly brutal murder, but together with her assistant Lena, she quickly finds herself caught up in a web of lies and intrigue. The all-male Séance Society is not who it claims to be, and Vaudeline is not the only one in the greatest danger of her life. I'm not sure about some things if I pronounced them correctly, because they were French, and I'm not that good at French. The book did cost me €14.40. Next up, I bought Silvernitrate by Silvia moreno-garcia. Also, the first time I found a book from her, but I also think it's been released for a while. Yeah, released 2024, but I've never seen a book of her until now, so I bought it. Now onto the description. Do you love the trend genre of horror? Then learn to fear Silvia moreno-garcia. The clever Montserrat makes her way as an outsider in a male domain, the Mexican film business. The only person she holds dear is her childhood friend Tristan, a soap actor who suffers from a lack of work. When she and Tristan receive an offer to complete a legendary horror film that has never been produced, they jump at the chance. But the film strip is cursed with a dark curse that spells disaster for everyone who works on it. Also very intriguing. Also one of my first horror books, I believe. So I'm even more interested. Also figuring out if horror is my genre or not. And now to the last book. Oh, also this one did cost me €18.50. But now on to the last book. The Cloisters by Katy Hayes. Can you trust the cards? With a degree in art history and full of ambition, young Anne comes to New York to take up an internship at a branch of the Metropolitan Museum of Art. The Cloisters, a museum modeled on a Gothic monastery with stone cloisters and a lush botanical garden, immediately captivates her. Anne is grateful that the sympathetic curator Patrick gives her a chance. Together with his assistant Rachel, she works on an exhibition about predictions and fate in the Renaissance, and comes across a mysterious set of tarot cards from the 15th century. much too late, Anne realizes that the cloisters is about far more than just an exhibition, and that she has long since been caught up in a dangerous game of power, ambition, and seduction. Also very intriguing. It's also titled as some dark academia book, but I don't know, I'm just interested to find out what's going on. And this book was 18 euros and 50 cents. So these are all the books I bought. I'm very excited to read them, but I have no idea how long it will take me. Can I hold them all at once? Let's see. Yeah, that are all the books. I will let you know if I've read any of them and how I like them, but don't wait too eagerly because I will need some time for that. Again, I'm a slow reader and I don't know when I will get to them, but I'm very excited about all of them. That's all I have to say for now. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you in my next.